Well, hey everybody. Hope you're doing well over there. I wanted to give you a couple updates on a few things. First of all, check in and kind of let you know what's new in our world over here, but also to give you a little preview of what to expect in the next couple of years here. And also just wanted to highlight a few things with the final project of the master's program, which is coming up. We're actually going to get started on it here pretty soon. So before I dive in too much with that stuff, I just wanted to let you know that we're thinking about you. We think about you often. This is definitely a transition point for Mandy and I. We've been in the state of Ohio for about 2.5 years now, since we came back from Kenya. And now we're preparing to leave and move back to Washington State, which is about 4,000 kilometers away. So it's going to be a big adjustment. We'll definitely be leaving a lot of friends here, but are excited to return to Washington State and reconnect with family and friends back there. And for me to be able to be on the ground again with Chris and the work of CTM in Washington. So we're looking forward to that. Chris and Len are doing well. Some of you may know they've had a busy house over the past couple of years. They've had 3 extra young men living with them. Great guys, but it's definitely changes the dynamics of their home a little bit. Um, but they're hanging in there with everything. Um, yeah, and I guess I also wanted to let you know that we continue to pray for you regularly, um, both individually and thinking about your own ministries and your families, but also as an organization, and just that uh, God's work is both evident and it's clear, and um, that you as a community are continuing to grow over there. So just wanted to remind you that we think of you often. So, oh my goodness, I forgot about this thing. Uh, you didn't really think I could grow that much hair, did you? Oh, yeah. Here I am again. Um, so let me just offer a little program update on a couple fronts here. First of all, we've got the community development and advocacy class coming up here. And that's going to be taught by Stefan de Beer, who we all met last summer, I think it was. He came up from South Africa, so he'll be with us uh, these next couple weeks here in November, and then next April. We're going to have a little bit longer period between the classes this time around, since there are 2 classes, and the next class will actually take place next April. And that's going to be the final intensive called the second to last intensive. It's called the City of Joy. And then it will also include a vision trip. And the way that we've designed the vision trip is it's going to be a local vision trip visiting several different ministries and different projects throughout Nairobi and the outskirts of Nairobi too. So Jeff Johnson will be coming over for that. He'll be the professor of record and facilitating that experience. And then finally, next October will be the last intensive course, and that's called It's a Family Affair. Um, and at this point, I'm not sure who's coming over to teach that one. Um, the other thing to mention is that while all these courses are going on, uh, we'd like folks to start thinking about the final project, which I'm actually going to explain a little bit here. And the hope of the final project is that it's not something that you'll do separately from all the other courses, but something that you'll kind of continue to work on during these upcoming courses for the next year. So we're not going to actually take time and say this is the 3 month period when you'll work on the final project, but rather we're going to say folks are responsible for doing this in addition to the other classwork. We're trying to build in some free time so that people can experience that fully. So that's just a little update on where we're at with some of the upcoming courses. I also wanted to just let you know that we are setting up a new online system. As many of you know, it's really challenging on our end to be able to uh, not even the idea of just grading the papers, but managing the papers. So making sure, as many of you have experienced my blunders along the way, just making sure that we stay on top of all that, because that stuff becomes vitally important for us to be able to remain accredited and to be able to work in partnership with BGU. So we are developing a new online system where folks will be able to upload their assignments online. You won't be sending it in an email anymore to me, but rather you'll go to a website, you'll send it there. The grader will actually, I won't be involved in the process anymore. The grader will go directly to your assignment online, grade it, and then send it right back to you. So it's just a way to kind of streamline the process, but it also keeps things in order for us. So um, that new site, it's called Sakai. I'll send out the link for it pretty soon, and I'm working on making a tutorial just so that people can have a video to kind of see how it works and to figure it out along the way. So, also, I just wanted to highlight a couple observations. It's been cool. It's been 2.5 years already since we've started, and so I think for us to look back at where folks started and where we are now, it's pretty cool just to see one the improvement in writing and thought process, and I think overall just people's ability to open up and wrestle with hard issues, which I know is counter to many of the trainings and education opportunities that you've had in the past. So the other thing, just very thoughtful reflections. The projects are great, they're creative, and they're really getting at taking ideas and bringing them down to a real practical level in ways that honor and serve the community in the long run. So that's been great. I guess the couple things to continue to work on is just mainly from my end is to continue to watch the deadlines. Uh, the other thing is to make sure that um, you do go the grammatical stuff. You can tell when people are getting sloppy with it. So just take that extra time to read through it, or have somebody else read through it, or read through it out loud, and see if that might work for you. But though I think just this idea of I waited to the last minute. I need to get this finished and send it in. It leads to lots of grammatical stuff that I know some of it's challenging just because of the language barrier, but some of it you can tell that it's different from paper to paper. So um, I would just focus on being a little bit more diligent about that. The other thing I just wanted to say on my behalf is that I sincerely apologize for late feedback. That's been something that's been frustrating for me. Some of you have actually been caught in situations where you're several months late. I sincerely apologize for that, and I'm convinced that this new system is going to help us out a lot, so that won't continue to be an issue. So those are just a few observations from the past 2.5 years. But let's take a look at this final